So this is a video about what we're gonna do with this sliding door eventually. Probably when we do the wall, actually. So right now it rides on a track that just sits in the dirt, which isn't really the best way to do it. We would need, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the gate up to the pillars. So instead of the track being here, we're gonna move it so it's right up at the pillars, and it'll slide, right back, right through here, right along the wall. But there's a lot of dirt in here. It's at least a foot above the driveway, maybe 18 inches, how high that dirt is. So we're gonna have to scoop all of that out and put a slab in here for the new track to sit on. And that's got to be 14 feet long from here, minimum. So maybe we just say 15 feet. And then I'm not sure how many feet off the wall, but let's say 2.5 feet at least. And obviously the wall comes to the middle of the pillar. So off the wall, or actually off the pillar, let's say 2 feet, which might be 2.5 feet off the wall, but 2 feet off the pillar, 15 feet down. And then I'm wondering, are we going to need a retaining wall back here? Because this level of dirt is going to drop, 18 inches to the slab. So are we going to need a little 2-foot retaining wall here? I don't know if we'll need one like an L shape. Like, I think we scoop all this out and make this all driveway level. But up here it's going to be higher. And I'm just wondering if we need a retaining wall. So it'll probably come out to here. So I don't know if we need a 2-foot retaining wall or a 3-foot retaining wall on the new wall. Maybe 2 feet high or so. Or maybe the same height as this wall over here is going to be. I think bench height is like 18 inches high. So 18 to 20 is how high we want this new retaining wall to be. I guess we have to decide if we want it to, because everything's getting wider. Right now these come to the edge of the pillar. They may end up hitting the middle of the pillar, like right here, even because the pillar's going to move. The wall will hit the middle of the pillar this way. So maybe this little retaining wall should hit the middle of the pillar going this way, as the pillar moves like 18 inches. This is 3 feet wide right now. We're going to make it 6 feet wide, so the whole pillar moves over. And maybe the retaining wall goes right to the middle. And maybe we do that on the other side too. I don't know if it makes sense for the planter to be the same height as this retaining wall. We want this retaining wall to be the height that you could sit on it. And maybe that's the same height as a planter out here. So will the planter come to the middle of the wall, or will it come to touch the wall just outside of the pillar? I guess we need to decide that. And if the planter touches the wall inside of the pillar, maybe we do the same thing on the other side. Like this little retaining wall maybe hits the wall, not the pillar. So we got to play around with that a little bit and figure it out. Right now this is 6 feet. I think you drew it less than 6 feet. I think you drew it 3 feet. So we're gonna have to figure out the grading here of all that dirt. I'm thinking we need at least 6 feet again. We'll probably not have these pots anymore. Just FYI. Yeah. So for this design, plan to scoop all this out to driveway level, put in 2 feet wide off of the pillar, so maybe that's 2.5 feet wide off of the wall, 15 feet deep slab, maybe a little retaining wall at the end of the slab, because the ground here is like 18 inches higher than the driveway. You know, they did some kind of little retaining garden edging here, but I think we're going to need more, or unless we slope the whole thing. That's a lot more grading. Obviously, we're going to get rid of all these plants, and we want to re-landscape all the way down. So since we're moving the gate, we don't need these bars anymore. The gate will be all the way up here. We won't have this lattice anymore. We don't really need this little path, this little Y shape that goes this way. We're not going to need any of this. This can all be landscaping because the gate will be here. So I think we can plan to demo this little walkway. We need some of it so we can pull the trash cans out and roll them. So I think for now, we just cut it right here where the bricks stop. We cut it. We delete all of that concrete. And we need a landscape plan from the bricks to the wall, assuming that none of this concrete is here anymore. So that might just be more boulders, more pink vega, more honey quartz. See what you think. I don't know if you want something kind of taller in the corner, a tree. It's going to be close to this palm. Yeah, let us know what you think. We'd like a landscape plan for all of this. Delete this path, cut this sidewalk off at the bricks right here. Cut that, demo, and then landscape all of it. And then we'll do the rest of the driveway another time. But at least the front of the house will be completed. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.